Hey everybody, Jack Barros here. Most of you know me as Jackie V. After 40 years behind the mic, being a club and a mobile DJ, I'm taking the mic in a new way. Welcome to Voices on Main Street. This is where local businesses get a voice to answer the real questions you, the people, are actually asking. Now, this is a structured show. It's built to get straight answers because clarity matters. Just real conversations that help you understand who you're trusting, who you're supporting, and who you're choosing on Main Street. Now, before we dive in, let me tell you why this matters to you. Voices on Main Street exist to help you make smarter decisions about who you trust and support in the community. We bring local businesses in and we give them a real voice to answer the questions you're already asking, whether it's Google, Siri, Alexa, or maybe it's in your own head. I know I got a lot of questions up there. But instead of guessing and instead of scrolling through all those reviews, right, trying to read between the lines and, you got to say, oh, this one's bad, that one's good. You get straight answers from the people actually doing the work. Because when you're choosing a service or a provider, you're looking for someone to trust. Clarity matters. And that's what this show is built to deliver. We shine the spotlight, but I do got to tell you, it takes all of us to lift someone up. Later in the show, I'm going to show you exactly how you can help today's guest grow. All right. We're going to take a quick pause for a sponsor. Today's episode of Voices on Main Street is proudly sponsored by Local AdFace. Local AdFace helps businesses in Florida, Massachusetts, and beyond get seen inside high-traffic restaurants and local venues. These are places where customers are actually spending time. Real visibility, real repetition, real local impact. And we're grateful for their support in helping us amplify local voices. And see how quick that was? We're back already. All right. Today's episode is a great one. I'm sitting down with Dr. Jennifer Nuce from Movement is Freedom Physical Therapy. Now, if you're a former athlete or a veteran or just someone that's dealing with pain and recovery, you're going to want to pay attention to this, no matter where you live. I know she's based here in Florida in the villages, and those people are lucky because she gets to provide them personalized in-home physical therapy designed around your body, not some high-volume clinic model, right? So again, no matter where you are, we're breaking down what actually matters in recovery, what to watch for, what to avoid, and how to make smarter decisions when your body just isn't cooperating. Dr. Jen, welcome to Voices on Main Street.
Hi, Jack. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right, folks, we won't keep you waiting. We're going to step into a segment we take very seriously around here, and we call it Pass the Mic. It's a real one. It's passed from one episode to the next. Today's question comes from Brian Curl over at Tool Time Appliance Repair. He's proudly serving the villages and surrounding Florida communities. Now, if your washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove quits on you, Brian's the guy's local trust to fix it right the first time. Brian, we appreciate your question, folks. Check his episode out. He has some good tips on appliances that'll save you some money. Promise you. All right, Dr. Jen, here's what Brian wanted to ask you. If you weren't doing what you're doing for a living, what's another job you think you would have done?
If I hadn't become a physical therapist, I think I would have made a good CIA analyst. I've always loved digging into information, seeing patterns and trying to figure things out. Honestly, the mindset shows up on how I practice physical therapy, helping people uncover the real reason behind their pain or impairment, and then building a strategy to move forward. It helps me treat the root of the problem instead of just the symptom. I think I might have made a good CIA analyst.
A CIA analyst. All right, folks, you heard it right here. I'm glad you're a physical therapist, Doc. All the things that the CIA we think they're doing, and we don't know what we're doing. So anyway, and Voice on Maybe, that one's not just for our guests. I want you to answer that question. What would you be doing if you weren't doing what you're doing right now? And if that question resonates with you, answer it in the comments. If you're a business owner, what would you done? If not, what if you're an employee, what path would you have taken? We read them. We highlight the best responses in future episodes. All right, folks, this is what this show is all about. This segment is called People Are Asking. And these aren't just any questions, they're industry buzzwords. These are real questions people are typing into Google, asking AI when they're dealing with pain, recovery, or uncertainty, or they're trying to figure out what to do next. So, Dr. Jen, I'm going to throw these at you one at a time. Dr. Jen, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. We're going to take it slow on this first few. What's the difference between in-home physical therapy and going to a clinic?
Well, in-home physical therapy, which is what I do, means the care comes to you. It's not the other way around. So there's no wasted time on a patient's part traveling to and from the clinic. There's no waiting room, and there's no loud, crowded therapy gyms.
Excellent. No waiting room. I like the sounds of that. Now, next question would be, do I need a referral to work with a physical therapist?
Well, in the state of Florida, you actually do not need a referral to start physical therapy. Florida has what's called direct access, which means you can come straight to a physical therapist without seeing a physician first. So I can evaluate and treat you right away. If your care needs to continue beyond the direct access period, which is 30 days for Florida, or if a physician's involvement becomes appropriate, then I can help coordinate that. But most people are surprised to learn they do not have to wait for a doctor's appointment to start, and they don't even have to use their health insurance to have physical therapy.
Oh, interesting. See, oh, that's great information to know. Now, I'm sure this is a very varied amount, but how long does physical therapy usually take to work?
Well, most people noticed meaningful changes just within the first few visits. How long it takes depends on how long the injury has been there and how consistent the patient is with their home exercise program. But my goal is not to have endless visits. My goal is to be efficient, very targeted, to get you moving better as quickly and safely as possible.
Excellent, excellent. Next question. Is physical therapy only for people who had surgery?
Not at all. Surgery is actually a small part of what physical therapy treats. I work with a lot of people to avoid surgery, people who have chronic pain, old injuries, balance issues, or just performance goals, whether it's their sport or recreational activity. Physical therapy is about restoring movement, strength, and confidence. We just don't do post-op rehab.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Can physical therapy help with like old sports or military injuries?
Yep, and this is kind of actually one of my specialties. Old injuries often never heal correctly, or the body adapted in ways that created some new problems. But as a former athlete and someone who's worked closely with veterans, I understand that those movement patterns in demand. So even injuries from decades ago can often improve with the right approach.
Oh, interesting. Now, let me ask you this. What should I expect during my first visit?
Well, your first session is going to be a thorough one-on-one evaluation in your home. I'm going to spend that time listening to your story, reviewing what you've already been doing, whether that's exercises from a physician, a prior therapist, your own routine, and just see how you're moving. It just allows me to get a full picture and kind of identify what's really driving the problem. And then I'm going to explain my findings in plain language, and we're going to outline a plan. So it's just a great opportunity for that first visit to kind of just build a personalized treatment strategy in your home that's very targeted and very intentional.
Interesting. Well, that leaves me a question. Why do some people fail at physical therapy even when they try?
Yeah, most failures aren't really effort problems on the patient's part. It's really a system problem. When you go to these high volume clinics, they rush your care, you get generic exercises, and they don't really individualize your progression. And so when people don't really understand the why behind the plan, the treatment plan doesn't really match what's really going on in real life.
I see. All right. Now, this is a good one for you guys out there because I know if you're like me, how do I know if my pain is something I should just push through or if I should go get it checked out?
Yeah, I get this asked a lot, and I do provide a lot of patient education on this. Exercise is good stress to the body. I call it eustress, EU. If it feels like muscular effort or it's fatiguing, it's going to help improve you move. But we have something what we call red flag pain. This is when something is sharp or it's worsening, it's lingering, or it actually starts changing the way you move. This pain will affect your function and also your confidence. So at that point, it probably is going to get paid to get checked out by a physical therapist.
Ah, all right. Now, what makes personalized physical therapy more effective than a high volume clinic?
Yeah. And I've worked in high volume clinics for 20 years. And that's why I decided to do this concierge personalized model. Because to me, the personalized care means fewer wasted visits. I'm not juggling multiple patients at the same time, so I can just focus on you one on one. Every session is built around what you need. Because I can take the time to listen to what's going on and listen to what your goals are. So that focus to me is what drives the better outcomes.
Ah, I see. I see. All right. I got one more question that I think a lot of people are asking. How do I choose the right physical therapist for my situation?
You need to choose someone that's listening, that explains clearly, treats you like a person and not a diagnosis code. You're going to want to ask whether they see you one on one, whether they individualize the care, whether they understand your goals, whether it's returning to sport, just staying active, or just simply living without pain. To me, private pay concierge therapy is really the future. So instead of insurance companies dictating your care, you become the boss.
Oh, excellent, excellent. All right, folks. That was our people are asking questions, and I got a lot of helpful information out there. I'm sure you did too. But now we got a little segment. We're gonna put the pressure test on Dr. Jen, and we're gonna hit her with some rapid fire questions. We got 4 questions we're gonna answer in the next 60 seconds. So, all right, put your listening caps on. We're gonna start out with, first of all, Dr. Jen, most common mistake people make during recovery.
Thinking that more must be better. Patients are doing extra reps, they're pushing beyond what's prescribed by us, which can really kind of irritate your tissues and it's just going to slow down your progress. Recovery works best when you follow the plan, not when you try to outwork it.
Okay, next, one daily habit that improves long-term mobility.
Yeah, this is easy, especially for my patients that are 65, 75, 85, and even 95 years old. You've got to keep moving every day. So don't sit in your recliner chair, your sofa, or even your computer and work desk all day. You've got to do something outside the home, whether it's you're running errands, you're being social, meeting friends for dinner, join a club that interests you, do volunteer work, or just do some form of exercise daily, even if it's just a walk.
Ah, what separates someone who recovers fast from someone who struggles?
To me, you really have to buy in to your home exercise program. And steady progression is the key to your recovery. Just thinking about it and not doing the work, hoping that time will heal all, that's what kind of separates the people who will recover faster and those who struggle.
Great, great information. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now, if you're like me, sometimes we just don't know what to ask, right? So this is why we developed this next section. And this is what you should be asking. All right. Now, we want to know that, or I want you to know that the right question at the right time can save you months of frustration. So let me ask you this, Dr. Jen. What are the biggest red flags someone should watch for when they're choosing a physical therapist?
The front desk is really important. If you're greeted by the front desk and when you're there for your appointment, within 5 minutes, you're being led back to your therapist, that is a great place to go. However, with today's insurance, a lot of people are getting very upset with the long wait times. You've come to your appointment on time, you're sitting there in the waiting room and no one's taking you back. And then when you get back there, you're feeling rushed and you notice your therapist is also in charge of 3 other people in the gym. You're just not getting that quality care that you kind of expect. But that's today's insurance world.
I see. And it actually leads me to my next question. How do I know if I'm being given a cookie cutter plan instead of care built for my specific body and goals?
Yeah, and I know with AI technology, you can Google what exercise should I do for my bad knee, and you're going to see this generic list of exercises that may work well for some others, and some of them could actually be quite dangerous. It's really best to be evaluated by a movement specialist, and that's what physical therapists are. With our doctorate degree level, we know what's going to work for you because we're listening to what your situation is and not a cookie cutter AI version of what a bad knee is, for example.
And just for those of you folks maybe didn't catch it at the end, Dr. Jen is a doctor. I was surprised because I didn't know that they took it to that level. So That's just a little side note. I do have a couple more should ask questions, so I don't want to tie you up too long. Let me ask you this, Dr. Jen. What's a mistake people make early in recovery that sets them back the most?
They ignore it. They ignore the damage that was done. They ignore the pain, especially if you're a pickleballer who is used to playing 6 days a week and now you've injured yourself. And but you just feel so motivated to get back onto the court that you need to take a step back. And that's so hard for an athlete to do. And I consider our pickleballers athletes. So you just kind of need to understand that sharp pain is not good pain, that you need to make a phone call, and your physical therapist is the best first person to call to get you on the right plan. You might have to take a step back for some healing, but then you're going to come back even better and probably prevent the next injury.
Uh, Now, let me ask you this. What should I be tracking week to week so I actually know if I'm improving?
Pain level is a real big one. And every week you should be kind of tested on the next level of your exercise progression to see, is my body ready for this? Is my tissue ready for this? And if you're not, it's okay. We're going to continue the plan and we'll try it next week. But if every week you feel like you're getting worse, and also if you're getting more swelling the next day and the next day and the next day, swelling is a good indicator that you're doing too much.
Uh, All right. Heed those warnings. Ladies and gentlemen, those are questions that change outcomes. They're not just answers. So I hope you're paying attention. All right, Dr. Jen. This part of the show is all about the human behind the expertise. This is our behind the mic section. Let's get personal. Dr. Jen, just one quick question. I know I'm going to hit you with a couple. But what pulled you into this line of work?
Oh boy. Okay. A long time ago, I watched a movie with Harrison Ford called Regarding Henry, and he was an attorney that got shot in the head during a botched robbery at a convenience store. So he had to go through some physical therapy to literally learn how to walk again. And that was the first time I ever saw a physical therapist on the big screen. And just knowing how much this therapist helped the character in the movie, I was like, that's my way of contributing to help someone else. So that's what kind of got me interested in physical therapy.
Wow. And all right, this one, I'm sure you got a pocket full. Most of us entrepreneurs do. What's a lesson that you had to learn the hard way that changed how you show up for your patients today?
That's a great question. I'm a big person on the golden rule. So I strive really hard to show up to my patient's home on time, because when I show up to an appointment, I'd like to be seen at my appointed time. So I strive really hard to make sure that I plan ahead of time to make sure that I'm at their door on time, because that's when they're expecting me.
Yep, yeah. That was the person behind the biz. Okay. I should say behind the microphone for us. All right. Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to have a little bit of fun, but there's a purpose to it. But this is the local loop, and it's our way of keeping the show a little unpredictable, human, and community first. One spin, one landing, whatever hits. That's kind of what we do. So, all right. Okay. So there's a few different things on this that we've got the pro chip top, we've got the bombs push, we got the local love drop, we got the local lift. All right, there we go. It's finally stopped. Local lift. All right. So what you got for a local lift? Now, local lift is a shout out to a business in the area and that our guest is going to recommend. So, Dr. Jen, who's your shout out to today?
So I'd love to give a quick shout out to Reveille Cafe. They're at Magnolia Plaza near the Everglades Recreation Center. It's our favorite breakfast spot in the villages. The staff is always happy to see you. The food is consistently great. It just feels like one of those places where people are very happy to see you. So it's one of my favorite local spots.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. That's amazing. All right, folks. So if you're in the Villages area, make sure you stop by the Reveille Cafe in the Villages. All right. And that's what I'm talking about. Quick, real, straight from the source. All right, let's keep things moving. All right. I like this one. This is for our older audiences. You're going to remember this. Time to make the donuts. All right. And for those of you that don't know, for our younger audiences, it was back at it might have been the 80s, early 90s. But what it was a commercial where it showed the baker. Now, the bakery's got to be open early. So the donut maker had to get up super early to make the donuts. But it was kind of an analogy for making money. And that's kind of what we're going to do right now. So the way we're going to do that is you're going to help us choose a commercial for Dr. Jen. So you're about to hear 3 versions of the messages, right? Now, a couple of things are going to happen. I'm going to ask Dr. Jen which one she likes the best. I'm going to ask her if she wants to read it. I'm going to ask her if she has one that she wants. And I want you folks to listen closely because I'm going to want you to decide which one we should do. And you're going to answer that in the comments. All right. You'll have about 30 days after the episode airs to vote. So make sure you vote. All right. So version 1. You ready?
Ready.
When it comes to physical therapy, one size does not fit all. Dr. Jennifer provides personalized in-home physical therapy designed around your body, your goals, and your lifestyle, not an insurance checklist. If you're ready for care that's built specifically for you, this is where it starts. All right, number 2. As a former athlete and combat medic, Dr. Jennifer understands pain, performance, and recovery from the inside out. She offers one-on-one in-home physical therapy focused on real results, helping you move better, feel stronger, and get back to life with confidence. And now number 3, if you're dealing with pain, injury, or limited mobility, and you're not sure what's the right next step, Dr. Jennifer offers personalized in-home physical therapy with a focus on clarity, care, and results. One conversation can make all the difference. And Dr. Jen, which one do you think represents you the best today?
Oh my gosh, they were all really good and read really well. I would probably have to pick number 2. I like number 2.
Number 2. All right. Now, was that acceptable read? Would you like to read it or you like me to read it again?
No, I think you did fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, folks, you heard it. Dr. Jen picked version number 2. So I want you to drop a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. Remember, you help decide what's get amplified, and you might hear that on a future episode of Voices on Main Street. Now, we're going to take a quick moment to do our time to make our donuts here, pay for the show. Word from our sponsors. You just heard 3 different versions of a message, and that's part of how we help local businesses here on Voices on Main Street. We don't just interview business owners. We give them the tools to be seen, heard, and remembered. And that's exactly why we're proud to have Local Ad Face sponsoring this show, because they're doing the same thing, just on a bigger physical scale. Local Ad Face operates the largest indoor digital billboard network in the Southeast, with locations across Florida, Wisconsin, Georgia, and expanding into Massachusetts. They place digital billboards inside high-traffic restaurants and local venues, places where customers stay 38 to 60 minutes. This is a 10-second ad that runs every 2 to 3 minutes, up to 30 times per hour. Now, here's what makes it really powerful. There's only one business per category, no competition. That means exclusive visibility. For customers, it means discovering trusted local brands and places you already enjoy. In fact, they have over 600 host locations, more than 3 million monthly viewers across the network. So while we help businesses amplify their voice on this show, Local Ad Face helps them dominate visibly in the real world. We appreciate Local Ad Face for supporting Voices on Main Street and for investing in the same mission: stronger local businesses, stronger communities. Okay, and we're back. All right. Now, our next segment is kind of taking advantage of your expertise for free, Dr. Jen. Can you give me one tip, one takeaway that someone can act on this week regarding pain or recovery? What's one takeaway that we can take away from this show that you want our guests, I should say, to kind of take away from this show?
Sure. Concierge private pay therapy is very new in America. There's literally only 3 to 4% of us that are actually doing this as an entrepreneur. Most of us work in hospitals, rehabilitation clinics, outpatient settings, and even home health. And guess what? I've done all that. I really feel at this point with my 20 plus years of experience and just the kind of clinician I have become that the concierge private pay model is really the best way to go. If you really want that one-on-one engagement, a very individualized plan to really help get you moving forward.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. That's your pro tip. All right, folks. So take it to heart. Up to this point in time, I've been doing all the talking. It's been a traditional interview, I think a fantastic one. But now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to call what I call flip the mic, because for a moment, I'm not going to be the one asking the questions. And like I say, the reason we do this is simple. You can learn about someone by what they ask or who they choose to spotlight. So, Dr. Jen, there's three lanes that you can choose from. You can choose to ask me a question about business, life, mindset, anything. You can give a shout out, kind of what you did with the local lift, or an open mic where you can take 20 to 30 seconds and say anything you want the community to hear, something real, something helpful. So, which lane are you going to take here, Dr. Jane? You going to flip the mic and ask me a question?
I think I am.
All right, the mic is yours.
So, Jack, when I first met you, I mean, even before I saw you, I heard you, and you just have such an amazing voice. And I'm always curious with you guys that are radio guys, when did you find out that you had a voice for radio? Like, is this very a young age, a teenager thing, or somebody told you?
No, I backed into it. I'll be honest with you. It was a buddy of mine said, "Hey, you know what?" And I was like 25 already. I know it's already a dad. So, and he was like, he wanted us to do something together. And it started out with like five or six of us. And what we were going to do was plan a party and give people a place to go. Well, the best laid plans, and it ended up being like three of us. It was me, my partner, Mike, and Larry. And we were a little bit cocky. We only played in his cellar, but we went out and we bought records. Back then, this is 1980, right? So we had to go buy records. And we busted out. We called ourselves the Master DJs. And we came out at the show. We produced our own show, busting out in Antiguan. What was the name of the event? Towards the night after Christmas. Oh, Disco Eve. And so it was the night after Christmas. All the people were out. We even did a 10-second radio commercial, right? And, props to Mike, because he kept going and he made it a business. And, it's something that I found that I liked, because I love music. I love all types of music. And I think that's one of my fortes. But no, it wasn't until actually I had been DJing a long time that somebody says, I love your voice. And I never aspired to radio. My thing is, I love the energy that I get from the people, right? And that's what was interesting throughout my career. I was a DJ for 40 years. I mean, I didn't go the traditional route. After weddings, I went into gentlemen's clubs, and I was the manager and DJ at a gentlemen's club when I retired at 67 years old. But I was still having fun. It combined all the things I love. I love and respect women. I love music, and it was like the best of both worlds. So, and I was having fun. But all those years, DJing was a side gig. You know what I mean? It's like, I would be, I was an entrepreneur. I bought properties. I flipped properties long before it was cool to flip properties. I got into marketing when I got near the end of my career. But if nothing really dovetailed, and actually till this podcast, and I actually feel like, the voice, and an old friend of mine said, hey, you should use your voice. And I'm like, he said, do voiceovers or something. I'm like, there's no fun in that. You know what I mean? It's just, and then a friend of mine said, podcast. And I was like, it takes forever to make money at a podcast. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I was already doing marketing with some clients. And I said, you know what? They need content, because that's, as small business owners, that's the only way we can prove who we are. We can't do a million ads. Let's just face it. We don't have the ad budget. So we got to get content that is evergreen, that's going to last. It's going to be good today, tomorrow, next year. Well, I can't have an ad run for 2 weeks and come looking for more money. I ain't got more money. So it was like the light went on, and I said, but, I don't want a job. And my friend Linda, I give her all kudos to her. She's like, all right, so voices. And it was like, oh yeah, because now I can have my friends do this too, because they have voices too, and voices on Main Street is one. I get a little excited, I get carried away with that one. But yeah, no, it's a combination of 40 years. So actually, thank you for that question, Dr. Jen.
Yeah, that's awesome. But that's why you're so good at it because you're still excited about it. That makes it fun to watch you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. People, that's the right message. Maybe somebody needed to hear today. All right. So I appreciate that truly. Now, we believe in using the mic for good, and we created Voices for the Voiceless, supporting no-kill animal shelters and rescues, doing the hard work for animals who can't speak for themselves. So I just want to let you know, folks, when you support this show, you support them too. All right. Now, when we started the show, we asked Dr. Jen a question that came from Brian. Now, I'm going to ask Jen to give us a question. So, somewhere out there's another business owner about to sit in that chair, and they don't know what question is coming, but you do. So, leave them one question, something real, not technical or not safe, something that makes them think.
Yeah, I would definitely want to ask, what makes you the happiest about being an entrepreneur, and taking that big leap to start your own business? Like, what got you going?
Great question. Great question. Now, I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience watching this. Put your answers in the comments, man. I can't wait to see them. Excellent. Excellent. Now, all right, before we go, we want to say thank you to everyone who spent time with us today and supported the show and supported our guests. And if this conversation encouraged you to check out Movement is Freedom Physical Therapy, or just consider using their services when the time is right, they put something together, something special for you. Now, this is our mystery gift. It's a small thank you for listening, supporting local, and giving Main Street a shot. Dr. Jen, tell them what the mystery gift is and exactly how they can get it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everybody staying to the end. So here's the mystery gift. When you book your first in-home physical therapy evaluation with me, I will include a portable home body exercise kit at no cost, plus the instruction on how to use it with your goals in mind. That way we can kind of support your progress in between visits. So it's a portable home body exercise kit.
Wow, folks, as you heard that, Dr. Jen is going to provide you with the kit and how to use it. Yeah, so I don't know if you understand what she said right there, folks. So not only are you getting a physical therapist for that time you have, or you're getting the gym, but you have a personalized care plan. I mean, a workout session. Man, we pay a lot of money for physical trainers. So thank you. That's an amazing gift. So those of you folks in the villages, we're jealous because you get to use to see Dr. Jen. Make sure you give her a call. All right, now, folks, here's the thing. This is what Voices on Main Street Family does. This is where we turn listening into action, right? You just heard Dr. Jen share her story, her expertise, and what makes Movement is Freedom Physical Therapy different from anyone else. Now it's your turn to help carry that voice a little further. So here's how you can support Movement is Freedom Physical Therapy right now. She's got a Facebook page. Go like her content. Share this episode with someone you know who needs it, that might be in pain and can use the tips that she shared with us. And the best way to show some love specifically is to leave a Google review. So if you've been a patient of Dr. Jen's, if you work with it, I want you to tell people what your experience is like if you haven't yet. But this conversation helped you say that, because Google reviews are the single most powerful online action that we can take to help a local business get found and build trust. Remember our Voices for the Voiceless mission. Pick one local rescue, follow, share a pet that needs a home. These are all things that you can do in your time when you're scrolling on social media. Just scroll to Movement is Freedom. Scroll to your local animal rescue. That's how this community lifts each other up. We're powered by people, and we're shared with purpose. For full story, bonus clips, and more conversations, you can visit the Voices on Main Street. Subscribe. And Dr. Jen, thank you so much for coming. You're a wealth of information today.
Thank you so much, Jack. It was an absolute blast. I appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. All right, folks, you heard it here. Have an amazing day. As we close out today's episode, we want to thank our sponsor once again, Local Ad Base. Shows like this exist because businesses believe in supporting local voices. Local Ad Base believes in visibility for business owners and connection for customers. If you're in Florida or Massachusetts and want to learn how digital billboards can help your brand stand out, my number's on the screen. From all of us at Voices on Main Street, thank you to Local Ad Base for helping us amplify real local impact. Now, let's wrap up today's conversation.